So Charlie Kirk said that he didn't like the word empathy. He actually specified that he preferred the word sympathy because empathy could be problematic, especially when used in politics. And one of the most fascinating things I've ever witnessed was all of these empaths. I watched the empathy actively leave their body when they watch somebody that they disagree with get murdered live and in front of our eyes. And it's almost like their empathy is reserved for people who they like and who they agree with, which isn't exactly how empathy is supposed to work. But there's so many examples of the left weaponizing our empathy against us to get people to co-sign on policies that actually hurt the American people. And one of those examples is the border, for example. Like, if we don't enforce our border rules and we allow people to pour into our country who do not do it through the proper channels, and we don't have any consequences for that, then it leads to us actually not having a country at all. If you have a passport, you believe in borders. Every other country believes in borders. And if we are known and we've sent a message to the world that we don't actually enforce our borders, then it invites problems and crime and issues into our country that shouldn't be here. So, of course, we have empathy and we have sympathy for people who have felt the need to come into our country for one reason or another. And it is hard to watch those people be sent back home. And it's sad. It is so sad. But if we don't do it, we don't have a country. And what's also fascinating is that Obama was the deporter in chief and he deported over 3 million people. But we love him because if the messenger is somebody we like, then we are fine with the message. That doesn't make any sense. Okay. What about criminal justice? Okay, so we feel like the criminal justice system has been unfair. We feel so bad for the people who have been in a cycle of poverty and therefore have had to make decisions that have led them to be sent to prison. But if we keep increasing the amount of strikes that people can have, if we get rid of bail, if we decrease and downgrade things that used to be a felony down to a misdemeanor, if we allow people who should be in prison to be out in the streets, as we have very well seen, more crime happens, and it is dangerous for the people of our country. Weaponized empathy also applies to the trans movement. You can have empathy for people who struggle with their gender identity, but allowing men into women's spaces that are supposed to be safe and sacred doesn't make any sense. Allowing children to alter their bodies permanently before their bodies are fully developed or their brains doesn't make any sense. So maybe Charlie Kirk didn't love the word empathy, not because he didn't believe in it or because he didn't have it, but maybe it's because weaponizing empathy against a people can cause them to agree with decisions that aren't actually good for anybody, including our country.